Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a house tour and I'm just gonna do that vlog style because I feel like that's the easiest way to do it and quickest way too. So I'm gonna try not to be too long, but I mean, let's face it, we both know where this is headed. So I'm going to show you the house, but I'm only gonna like talk about and really show you the like Christmas related things. In the future, when Christmas is over, I can definitely do like another tour where I just focus on like my everyday things. So I'm not going to talk about like the furniture or like any other decor I have that's vintage, only because I think it would be like even longer than this is already going to be. So the majority of my like decor, I guess you could say, is probably in the dining room and the living room. So those are both like my favorite, like two of my favorite rooms of the house too. So yeah, I made that like pretty video. I'm calling it the pretty video because I just filmed some shots and I don't know if my cat's like trying to sneeze or is choking or just trying to get my attention. Okay, she needed to sneeze. Are you okay? Okay, so yeah, I forgot what I was saying. Oh, I know what I was saying. So I made like the pretty video, or I'm calling it the pretty video because I just like took some like shots and used like a filter. I just thought it would be a really like nice way to capture it. But I'm making this video so that I can like talk about it and show things more in detail. A lot of people in my real life are actually asking about it because nobody's actually been to our house. So they're like, when are you gonna show your tree? When are you gonna do this? Anyway, this intro is already... Anyway, I'm super festive today. I got a festive sweater on. I'm about to make Christmas cookies. I'm just feeling it today. So it is during the daytime. If I tried to do this at night with all the lights lit up, it would be too dark. So I did put the lights on, but anyway. Let's just get started. I just started to film and then I realized that I forgot what I initially wanted to make this intro for. I just wanted to put a disclaimer out there for people who may be searching for vintage house tours, that this house is definitely not like a Pinterest version of vintage. I feel like it's more of a realistic version of Pinterest of vintage. So I just wanted to put that out there because I know a lot of people have houses that look like that, or like a lot of people, you know, look stuff up on Pinterest, and I feel like the house is more like realistically like what your grandma's house might look like, which is what I love. I definitely love all of the like stuff I see online too. It's just that's not my reality. So I just wanted to put that out there so people aren't like surprised or shocked or like that's not vintage. Again, not everything is vintage either. Like some stuff is like not vintage, but yeah. It's also more like 70s/80s vibes versus 1950s or even 60s. I don't know. In my opinion anyway. There is stuff that's older than the 70s, but I don't know why I feel like I need to say that, but I just do. Okay, so when you come in through the door here, there's like a porch out here, so you don't just walk in here, but you're in like what's called the dining room. Also, you may notice a weird configuration in this house. I'm not going to even bother getting into that in this video. Like the house is over 100 years old, and I'll talk about that in a future video. So when you first come in, the first thing you see is the table, which I love. Not everything on here is vintage. These placemats are not vintage, but I feel like this tartan pattern is like timeless, kind of. I forget where I got them, but I've had them for like a few years, so before I started decorating vintage. And then I have this china, which also I don't think is that old, like maybe 90s, but I don't know if they make it anymore. I think I tried to look it up and I couldn't find the pattern. But so I got those, like I got these secondhand, And then I got these napkin holders secondhand as well, and they just kind of happen to match. I'm very much not about everything matching perfectly, but having like a general theme, I guess. So like holly, I feel like, again, like with the tartan, it's like a timeless pattern. Like it will never go out of style. Not that I care about what's in style or not, but I like it. This video is already probably like 2 minutes long, just talking about the plate. And then I just found these napkins too, secondhand. Pretty much everything I buy is secondhand, just so you know. And then these green chargers, I think I bought new though, but I've had them for quite a while. So I just did that. I did have glasses on the table, but I ended up feeling like it looked too busy, so got rid of those. And then I got this cream and sugar set that, again, like, it doesn't match this china, but it kind of matches. I actually do have the cream and sugar that matches this china, but I don't know, I just think it looks cool. And then I've got this like plastic foliage, you'll see a lot of that, like candle ring, and this is just like a battery operated candle. And then I got these two candles that are vintage, I think from the 80s, and these candle holders are vintage too, from the 70s, I think. They really need to be cleaned, but like I think they're like silver plated and they're kind of turning, but I didn't feel like polishing them, so I just let it be. But I quite like it. I think it's like a nice look when you first walk in, very festive. And then over here on the counter, I just hung a matching like towel that matches the placemats. And then over here above the sink, I just have all of these Christmas friends. These are like from the 80s. I have 6 different ones, and I have duplicates of some of them, but I just put out one of each, and I love them. Every time I see them, I like have to buy them. I don't know why. It's like a weird obsession, but I just put some battery operated lights up there. This house is really old, so there's not very many plugs, so I used battery operated lights a ton. So then over here, like on the other side of the room, we just have this fireplace, and I just have this like train set with candles that says Noel. This is one of my favorite things that I own. I got it for like $2 at Value Village, I think. I just put that there because I didn't know where else to put it. I wasn't going to leave it there, but then I was like, screw it. And then over the door, I just put some vintage garland, and then these like bells with like plastic foliage, which are from the 1970s. And then in the kitchen, I don't really have too much in here. Just above the cupboards, I just put like a couple strands of battery operated lights with some bows and like some green garland. So there's that. And then down here, this isn't vintage, but I think it's really cute. It's like this little teapot that you put a candle in, and it's like a wax warmer up there. So it's very cute. And I'm just about to make cookies, so that's why all that's out. And then over here, I just have like these, they're paper plates, but they're like holly themed. And I do have this, which is vintage, but I don't know if I'm actually gonna like use it, because I'm probably not gonna make a cake, but in the light I can show you better. It's just like holly patterned. Again, it doesn't like match anything, but it does match. And then the only other thing is I just have like a little Christmas notepad, and then we have some Festivus magnets. If you're a fan of Seinfeld, then you know what that is. I'm actually like a massive fan of Jerry Stiller. It's so funny. And then over here, like I just have this rack that holds like some of my vintage stuff, but I have like a ton of vintage aprons, which maybe I'll do a video on those. But over here, I just have this like a vintage Christmas apron. Okay, so then leaving the kitchen back into the dining room, over here I just put this like cloth over the top of my deep freeze. I don't know why, I just thought it looked really festive. My grandma used to do that when I was a kid. Like she always had a Christmas cloth over it, so I just thought, oh, that's cool, I'm gonna do that too. And here, this is like just a multi-player thing. I have this like vintage ashtray because Nothing says vintage like having ashtrays in your house. No, I just think it's cool. Fun fact, I did used to smoke, but I do not anymore and haven't for a long time. These little gingerbread men are not vintage, but I have had them for like 10 or 15 years, so I mean, someday they will be. And then I just got these candlesticks recently, and I had these vintage Santa candles, so I just put them in there. It's something, I guess. I don't know. And then on the stairs, I just wrapped the stairs in like some garland and put some battery operated lights, and then I put a couple bows. I don't know, I think it looks pretty festive. And then I guess maybe I'll just go in here next. On this door here, this just goes to like our basement. I just put the felt like homemade Noel thing, and then this is just like a half bath. I call it the cat bathroom. On the door I just stuck this like plastic foliage again. I bought it was actually missing all this stuff here, but I just have a bunch of random like kind of broken pieces that I just saved to like make stuff with or repair things, so I just glued that stuff on. I think it looks pretty good. So I call it the cat bathroom. This is cat photos in here, but then I also put like, I have this shelf here. I put these two cats. They used to be like bells, but they're missing their bell, and this little like cat, you put like a tea light behind it. It's just cute. And then I just have these two candlesticks, and then down here, this is like the really like pastel girly bathroom. This little like tin that had a cat holding a candy cane, and then over here, I love this so much. It actually had a hurricane shade, but tragically it broke. So I didn't want to throw it away though, because I love it so much. So I was like, well, I'll just stick it in there like that. So then leaving the bathroom is this thing. I always put like seasonal kind of things in this, like displayed. It's nice because things are like kept behind the glass so my cats can't break it, but I also just think it looks really cute. I'm not super happy with the way this looked, but it's good enough. So down here is the rest of the china. And then I just had like some pine cones and different things that I just kind of put in there too. And then up here, this stuff isn't vintage, but it's so cute. I think it's called Enchanted Woods Holiday. I've had this for a couple of years, and I didn't really want to get rid of it because I think it is really cute still. I have like, you can like just see my like slippers and my pajamas in the glass. So I have like 2 mugs, 2 plates, 2 like soup bowls, and then 2 small plates back there. I feel like it's discontinued though, because I tried to look for more pieces, but I could not find any. So now I'm definitely keeping it. And then I just have this like candy cane striped dish back there. Then up like in this part here, I just have some glasses, these mugs and these like drinking like water glasses. Those are from the 80s. And then I have this piece from, I'm pretty sure that this black snowflake was like 1950s, but it's Pyrex if you don't know. It's the only like festive holiday piece I have, but I like it a lot, and it was only like $5. So up on top of that, I just put this like burlap. This isn't vintage either, but this burlap like runner with snowflakes on it. And then this is like one of those things that's like tiered, but it didn't come with the thing, so I thought, oh, I'll just buy one. I see them all the time, and then I'll just, you know, unscrew that and put that piece in here. But ever since, I haven't found one, so I'm just like waiting. Who knows if it'll happen this year or not. And then I also put this vintage punch bowl here. I was thinking about maybe making punch, but since we don't really get company where we're living, I don't know, it's probably not necessary, but I think it looks festive, because what better time to make punch than at Christmas? And then these are just like out all the time, but I did put like this Christmas ribbon around it, but that one fell down. So then for my salt and pepper shakers, they're mostly Christmas, but there are a few that are not. Obviously, like the mouse isn't Christmas, but it kind of goes with Christmas, so I left it out. I have these that are kind of meant to look like vintage ornaments, which I really like a lot, and then I just put that there. And then I have salt and pepper shakers that are holly. Those kind of give me like 80s vibes. I don't really know though, but I could have put them on the table and they would have matched nice, but I need it to fill some holes here, so I just left them up. I got these Christmas trees, and then these mice that are like talking on the phone. They're not vintage, but they were out for, or they're vintage, they're just not Christmas, but they were out for fall, and they kind of went with the theme, sort of, and that's the pepper. Up here, this one I think might be the oldest one I have. I can't remember the company, but tragically I could only find one, not the other. And then I have these like gingerbread people, which these kind of give me like German vibes. I'm not really, well, it says made in Japan, I'm not really sure, but they look pretty old. And then over here, this isn't a salt and pepper shaker, but it's just this little candle that I thought fit nice there. And then up there I got Mrs. Claus and Santa Claus. And then those are just my balloon dog. I just figured since they were neutral that they were all right there. So then moving into the living room, on this bench here, I just have like it's like a hat with the holly and stuff. I think we're gonna use it for like Christmas photos or something. And then up here I just put one of these. These are from like the 70s, I think. It's like a candle. You'll see a lot of those. I'm kind of obsessed with those too, but it's just Santa's boot. I thought it looked cute. And then I just put some vintage garland around the door with more bells. So this probably is my favorite. It's just so festive. My tree I made a separate video for where I go into more detail showing you the ornaments. If you want to check that out, I'll leave a link below. When you first come in, my record player is here with, these are all Christmas records, and all there and all there. I also made a video sharing those. I'll link that below too. We don't really do presents really, like we don't buy or let people buy us presents, so we don't buy them for other people, they don't buy them for us. We were like minimalists for a long time, so just got out of the habit, and I don't ever want to get back in the habit. But we do buy each other like a few things, but they're mostly like practical items, so it's not like a bunch of garbage. So then around the tree is our fireplace. I have a bunch of vintage like felt stockings, which I'm also obsessed with. I just love them so much. I've been really lucky and found some really good condition ones, but we don't actually use them because I'm too like worried about them stretching out, and I just don't want to ruin them. So we have a bunch more than the actual people that live here, but I just found these ones and I liked them because they have like bells on them, so I just wanted to put them up. And then I did find these two small ones, and we have two cats, so it was like very cute. So up on top of the mantle, we just have these like stocking holders. These are not vintage either. I had these before doing the vintage thing, but I was thinking about trying to spray paint them like a gold or a bronze and kind of distress them a bit because I thought it would make them look older. I don't know, maybe I'll try that next year. And then this I actually like made. It was just like a cheap, like $1.50 plain, it's not really called garland, but just, you know, it was just this stuff basically, just plain. And so I just glued all this stuff on, like all this random like bells and stuff. I just have a big box full of like just random odds and ends. So I just glued all that on and put some lights, and I'm really like how it turned out. And then up here is the tragedy I think I've spoken about before, but this mirror is from like the 60s, and the mirror part broke. So this mirror just like came down onto the floor and completely turned to powder. So I love the mirror so much, and it looks weird not having anything above the fireplace because it's in the corner. So my plan is to get another mirror put in it, even though it won't be as good because it had a bunch of like distressed age kind of scratches into it. Oh, it was so amazing. So for the time being, I just thought, well, I'll just stick Christmas cards up there. Fun fact, none of these cards are from actual people. They're just old looking cards that I put up there to keep with the vintage theme. I think actually a couple of them are. This one's from our, like, the place where we buy our oil, which is funny. Oh, and this one's from John's parents, so I guess I lied. And then I just got this random thing in like a bag, and I was like, well, I'll just put that up there. So I think it looks kind of cute. So then moving on here on this end table, I've got another vintage ashtray, which I actually like really love this one. You can even see like there's a spot like burned into it, which just makes it even better. And then I got this plastic poinsettia, which is amazing. And then down here I get these, like, every year I buy one. They're like vintage kind of flea market stuff. This one I love because it has a bunch of like vintage Santas on the cover. It's like the main reason I bought it. And then I do have like a couple of other like just old, like, you know, homemade gift things that I look at sometimes, and like Victorian Christmas ornaments, which isn't really my style, but it's still cool to look at. And then I have these vintage Life magazines from the 1950s. So this one's from December, and like I actually read through them too sometimes, but it has a bunch of Christmas ads in it because obviously it was from December, but I like love that so much. It's amazing. Maybe I'll make a video sometime like looking through those, because I think I have like 6 or 7 of them, if anybody's interested in that. And then over on the other side I just have another poinsettia and another ashtray, and then I just got this book. It's not vintage, but it's like one of those like fake boxes. So I just have candles in it for A Christmas Carol. So it's pretty cool. And then, so then on the coffee table we have just, this is like a piece of Blue Mountain pottery, but then I also have these like Christmas little like wreaths with candles. Tragically this morning I have this portable heater because I'm always freezing. I had it up here on the edge of the table, and I was like watching a movie while I was eating my breakfast, and it got too hot because it was directly on me, so I just tilted it, and like I didn't notice for a long time, and I didn't realize how hot, like it was just stupid. So I ended up like completely like melting this candle, and there was like a big pile of wax, and so now it's all deformed, but I just have another one over there. Then over on this side of the room I have more stockings. I have that one, and then I love this one. I wish I could find another one like it, but so far no luck. So I thought they would be great like cat stockings. I have this thing here. It's like, used to be a record player that there's nothing inside of it anymore. I just use it for storage. But I have another one of those cloths that I put on this one. And then we unfortunately couldn't put these. I have like a whole bunch of these. We couldn't put them in our windows because they have plastic covering them to like save on energy costs. So I realized after, but I love them so much. They're like such an essential part of like vintage Christmas for me that I just thought, well, I'll just put one on this table and that will satisfy my craving to look at it. And then I just have a couple of vintage like dishes on here. So I have these like 2 trees. They almost look like salt and pepper shakers, but they're not. They're just hanging out. And then I have this vintage like nut cracker bowl, this vintage chip and dip set, and then this vintage like, I guess it's just like a divided thing for snacks. So just have some like wrapped candy in there. Then the TV. So above the TV, I just put this strand of like colored lights, because if you watched my tree video, you'll know that I couldn't put colored lights on my tree because I already had white ones and I didn't have colored ones and I didn't want to buy them new. But I've since found a few strands, so hopefully next year. But just to satisfy that, I put those over the tree, and I actually really like the way that it looks. And then if you watched my Christmas haul, you'll remember those, these like deer bookends, which I'm leaving out all year because they're so fantastic. But I just put a bunch of like VHS here of Christmas movies, and then there's like another, this one actually is vintage, but it's kind of burlappy, but not fully. Anyway. And then on the other side, I just have these. Oh, they actually do still have the bells in them. There's just like 3 of them on top of like our VCR and like our stuff. We actually like use this TV to watch like TV on, and it took a long time to get it all figured out, but that's what those converter things are. So maybe I'll make a video about that if anybody's like interested, because you can still use them like if you find one that works. I'm sure you could probably even repair one, but it's just literally there's nothing like it for me. So, and then next to the tree I just have this stand, so I just put some like random things on here. This light, I believe that was in my Christmas haul as well. Actually probably most of this stuff was. I just like love that so much. It's definitely like 70s. And then I just put the angel next to it. I have this cube candle. It definitely gives me 70s vibes. It says Noel. Down here I got this Santa blow mold and 2 of these little like, they're kind of like a different version of those Christmas friends I showed from the dining room. And then down here I got the ceramic snowman and a couple more of those Christmas friends. And then down here, this is like one of my favorite things that we have too, is this Noel candle. And then I just have that Christmas doily, which I tragically did not find any more. Hopefully I can find some more because I love them so much. So then we have this little like extra bonus room. We just call it like the den. But on the entrance going in there, I just strung some more garland, some battery operated lights, and then I got more of the bell things. I found so many of these. So there and in the middle and over there. So this doesn't have that much stuff in here, but here on the coffee table, there's like, this room's like a mixture of like modern. This is like our old coffee table before we started buying vintage furniture. On the coffee table I just have this like Christmassy runner, and then this like vintage bowl, and this vintage like little tray. I got another one of those candles. I love this one. And this is just like a tin with some like hard candy in it. Then over here we just have one end table in this room because it's all that will fit. I have this like ceramic tree. It's just like a little one, as you can see. This vintage Night Before Christmas like little golden book. It's like a little miniature ceramic tree. I just put some battery operated lights in it, and so you can't really even tell that it's lit up. But and then I got this like, I love this candle. This is like 25 cents. I just love it so much, so I just stuck it there. And then on the other side of the room we just have like a entertainment stand from the 80s, and then this is where we keep like we do have a modern TV. Then this is like a, not as quite as vintage, but because modern TVs won't really fit in here, but we do have this modern TV up here. But I just strung some battery operated lights along here and just put a few things. This Santa is another one of those candles. Just have some candy canes, and then this another candle. It's like a tree. And then over here is like old TV stand that I converted into like a bar. We actually don't drink very much. This bar is telling you a different story, but well, we actually don't. But I just put some like garland along there, and then have these like Christmas napkins up here. And then above that, this is one of my favorite things. We just have this like Merry Christmas sign, and I got these vintage plastic candy canes that I love so much. And yeah, it just says Merry Christmas. I don't know, I really love it. It's better when you get like a good look at it from there. And then over like on this side of the wall, I just strung some garland, and then I put this up too. This is like this is like my childhood, like from the 80s. Not actually from there, but I just got it, and sometimes I just buy like bags full of random stuff, and this was in it. So we're like, oh, we should definitely put that up. So there you have it. Okay, so that was the downstairs. There's not that much decorated upstairs, although I did have more decorated, and then I changed all of the rooms up there, so I took down some of the decorations. I don't know. I guess I could show it to you. This video is probably long anyway, so what's a few more minutes? Alright, let's do it. Okay, so going up the stairs, up here I also like put some of that. It's not wrapped very well though. I meant to like go in and do it better, but then I just didn't. I didn't bother with lights because I didn't want to buy more. So when you come up to the top of the stairs, this room is, this is just, my office is in here. I just put that wreath on there. It's not vintage. But then this is like kind of a hallway, sort of. But over here is like, it's actually one of my favorite things. It's better at night, but... So this is actually just an old like entertainment stand, a TV stand that a fireplace goes in. But we've just put it here like since we moved in, and I feel like it just makes the perfect like kind of table with the, especially with the doily on it. I don't know, I love it. And obviously with the tree, it's super festive. So this tree is just filled with, I call it like the cartoon tree, because it just has like a bunch of ornaments that are like, well, basically like cartoon or Disney. This is the angel that I used like last year, because we didn't use a big tree last year. It definitely gives me like 60s vibes. So I have a bunch of vintage Disney ornaments that I'm obsessed with. So I think they're 16, so they're like satin with the plastic. There's Mickey, Peter Pan, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and there's one more. I thought there was, oh yeah, there it is. Pinocchio. So perfect. So those are on there, and then I have a few, so like from Christmas specials, so I have Rudolph and Frosty down there. And then I have some like Snoopy ornaments, so I'm pretty sure those might have been in my Christmas haul. Oh, and then I got this Care Bear satin bell. I just got that recently. I have this vintage A&W ornament. I actually used to work at A&W for a long time, and it was like, I don't know, it just has like sentimental value, A&W does. So when I found this vintage one, I wanted to get it. But I actually, when we worked there, like, they would give you an ornament every year. This is actually the only one that I still have, but I just put that on there too. And then over here, this one is actually vintage. It's the Santa from Rudolph. That Rudolph has just been bought within the past probably 10 years, but that one is actually like old. And then I have this Mickey ornament here, Winnie the Pooh, and then I just kind of filled it in with a few filler ornaments. So like, I got some pink glass bells, and then snowflakes. I have a couple different kinds of snowflakes, and then oh, and I put some strawberries on there and some white glittery apples. I don't know, I think it's kind of cute. It does look super pretty where it's like right in front of the window, and when like we have it lit up at night and there's no other lights on up here, so when you walk upstairs it's just really pretty. She just had to get in the video. Either that or she's like waiting to knock an ornament off. She already broke one of these glass ones, and I was so pissed at her. She just jumped up and like swatted it down, and then it immediately like fell down and shattered on the stairs. I was so pissed. Okay, get down. So then right after like the hallway, you just go into our bathroom. There's just a few things in here. So I have this vintage candle, also with another one of those like vintage plastic foliage things going on, and then I just put that battery operated candle there. Over here I just this is like a vintage hamper, and this mirror is like from my grandma's house. I just like put it on top to make it like a table. And I just have a couple of things, like a couple of these fireplace things with like battery operated candles in them, because my cats would probably jump up here and light themselves on fire if I put real candles. Then on the other side of the bathroom, I just have this larger fireplace where you just put like a candle back there, but it's kind of cute. I think these are from like the 80s. But yeah, that's pretty much all that's in there. And then here, this is the secret non-vintage room. It's not really a secret room, but it's definitely not a vintage room, but it's ironically one of my favorite rooms in the house. So I don't know, maybe I'll show that to you guys sometime. But then yeah, just down here, office, and then in our bedroom. Oh, actually, so in our bedroom, I did actually put the Charlie Brown Christmas tree. That's like the only thing that's in here, though. That's not the only thing that's vintage, but it's the little like sneak peek. The only thing that is Christmas. Okay, so that's it. That's my Christmas house tour. I think I said in the beginning, I'm not really 100% happy with it, but I'm trying to not be like such a perfectionist and just enjoy life and like live in the moment and not like worry so much about stuff that doesn't matter, like this. It's just, I don't know, it's hard to explain when you feel this weird drive to make things perfect. Even though I know there's no such thing as perfect. It's just my messed up brain. I don't know. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully it wasn't too long. I tried not to talk too much, but I just get really excited too. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll probably not really post any more videos this year. So this might be it till next year. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.